Because those messages are clearly watermarked and copyrighted. And in the fucking post, Chairman, I say they are not to be shared. They can be viewed, not shared. So, old Bones there, she ain't got no problem with her hypocrisy, let me tell you. She ain't got a fucking one with it. It's how she rolls. So anyway. And these are the same messages FBI possessed. Because we were all like, you know, being interviewed on. I was like, wait, hold on. I've got to wait it. You know. Anyway. Oh, goofball over last night. She's like, there's a heart. You know, there's this, there's that. And I'd love to see the ones today before all these. Fuck. Okay, lady. And clearly, if she pays any attention, there are actually some before and some after. But she doesn't. So anyway. And at one point, she was on it because there's let me turn the brightness up here. Yeah. So, as you can see, there's there we go. Yeah. So there's a call from Andy. And it's 3.5 minutes long. The day before at 11:30. Alright, in the morning. And you got old Bones over there speaking. I wonder what that was about. I'd like to know. Bones, that was him calling the day before saying he was getting off on the 14th early. And it took him a little bit, and he got home. And then he wanted to cuddle. So that's what was happening. Took a short nap. Woke up to Dobbs being there. When we went out a little earlier than expected. Otherwise, I guess my daughter would have been in the driveway getting her anime subscription box. And who knows what the hell could have happened that day on the 14th. Anyway, so but that was him calling. To tell me that he was getting off early, wanted to know whatever, needed anything, etc. And if he came home early, if we could just chill and cuddle. And I was like, sure, whatever. I didn't feel good. So we did, and we took a nap. Woke up, started leaving out early, and then found us. So then the 15th starts, and he sends me a heart at 9:44 a.m. And then he sends, love you, okay, heard anything. And I was like, just the tree grinding company. And then I asked if he called his dad about the other. And he said, not yet. And I told him to make sure that he let his dad know that There's still stuff in another residence that we needed, and my son wanted to go hunt there. There was another property situation happening. And I said, so he can mention it to that asshole. And he replies, okay. And then because see, he was running a little late that morning, because after we had finished the night before looking around for dogs and all that, and hollows and up and down in hotels he was supposed to be up because he freaked us out. It was a little late, so he slept over, but he was always fucking late. Never could be on time. So anyway, and Bones there last night had a serious issue with this. Let me tell you, serious issue. And it continues from the okay point. I was like, did you show blank pics and tell him what was going on? And Monster goes, yeah. Now, old Bones, she got all kinds of theories, and she really wants to know what's below this black. So, I wonder what that's about, and if it's about drugs, and I wonder if it's about, oh my gosh, and, well, I thought Andy was supposed to be at work all day, and he was on camera, and oh my God. So maybe this is about a drug house and drop-offs, and maybe this, and maybe that. It always centers around drugs with these people, man. Especially that one. She's super obsessed with dope. Of any variety, really. So anyway, I know she's super confused about not doxing people. And that, I mean, it's pretty damn obvious what would be under that black mark there to anybody. Did you show blank pics and tell him what was going on? Well, fuck. I bet what's under that black mark is somebody's name that I didn't want to dox or name openly online. Like his boss. Now, I know a real job confuses the fuck out of Ziggy, and so does not doxing people. Okay? But that's pretty damn self-explanatory. See, his workplace knew that when property owners, he had already warned them. You know, that's how mayor of and I was over the property. His workplace was very well aware of what was going on with the property, and at any moment they had been warned that he might have to go. If and when the property owners showed up, he was going to have to leave. So we'd all been waiting at this point. But yep, that's how concerned I was over the property. Sure. Must have just been me. Yeah. So anyway, I was like, did you show the person the pics and tell him what was going on? He goes, yeah. And I was like, any issues? And he goes, just him, in reference to the boss, saying, where was I? And me telling him, I'm on my way. Not much. And then he finished basically the sentence using his words. He goes, basically saying that the boss had told him to be on time. And then he's, you know, his sense of humor, he's like, ignored him on that. And I was like, laugh out loud. And then he calls me for almost 3 minutes at 10:04. Why I can't tell you that thing. I don't fucking know. I don't remember. I'm sure the feds have my statement on it, considering it was, that morning. But fuck if I remember. Something mundane. So anyway, at 2, he messages, "You okay?" Now, here's the thing. By this point, I realize for months he has changed the way, and he's told me by this point, which I've posted those messages too. They're open to the public. And I have them printed and all kinds of shit too, and recorded and whatever before he fucked with all the men. Anyway, it doesn't matter. But that he was not messaging shit, so I had proof. He'd only call, and so he was definitely making messages look like shit they weren't, and it's just part of fucking narcopathic bullshit, and the bullshit he was playing with the new supply and everything else, and she was helping him by this point, obviously. But every day I would get a "you okay" or a "love you" text when he would take lunch, basically. And it was to make sure that it hit and he could tell I was in Wi-Fi service. Because if I was in Wi-Fi, it meant I was at home generally, or that, it was like a basic vanilla-ass thing to where no further conversation was needed, and it was quick, and it acted like he cared, and it wouldn't, but it did. It set my spidey senses tingling for months because he was doing it consistently, and it was out of character. But that was him making sure I was where I was at so he could go fuck her next door in the cooler to work. Anyway, so, but old Bones there, she's got her own take on it. "Oh, look, it must be," and so does the rest of the internet. But he looks nice, but yeah, they have no clue about DV and what these fucking piece of shit monsters get up to. But I mean, I've got a million others, some of which are public, and others have made videos of and shit with him admitting to beating me and the kids and hurting us emotionally, mentally, whatever, etc. Out of his own fucking shit. So, yeah, real cute though when you don't know the context of shit and people just offer you whatever and question your DV and they have no idea how narcopaths work. Yeah, real cute. So anyway, at 2 p.m., June 15th, he messages and goes, "You okay?" And then, Goofy Britches over Bones goes, "Well, it took her a while to respond." 2:14, messaged him back and said, "Yeah. Took me 14 minutes. My God, I didn't jump for my abuser. Immediately answered the phone. Bones. Holy shit. Woo! Should have jumped quicker." And by this point, I was in the middle of everything. This asshole hadn't let me grieve for my past. Property shit I was having to concentrate on it for them. My body had enough. I was going through treatment. I just had radiation again during this period. And I was shutting down. There was weapons pushed in to keep me quiet. I had a very real bubble around me. For the first time in all those decades, because he damn near broken me at this point. Just didn't have much to say to him. But anyway, I answered him. I was like, "Yep," that I was okay. And then he messages because he's still like, "Well, that's not really, where's she at? What's she doing?" He goes, "Nothing going on." And then another heart. And it's a green one, which I know not to be his, which means he's been missing anyway, so, clues are everywhere. Anyway, I was like, a noise woke me up, and I was going to see. And at this point, I'd only had, as you can tell, couldn't have been asleep too long between all this, but I'd only been asleep, I don't know, 20, 30 minutes max. I never did sleep long anyway, but, and everything woke me up. So then he doesn't message me back immediately or anything. And at 2:38, he goes, okay. Now, at 3:14, he goes, too long, no response. You okay? This is still him making sure of whereabouts, making sure I'm not out there. You know what I mean? And during this time, what I can also see from his phone in later parts, his coworkers messaging him asking if he's coming back from the store yet, if this there. Not on this particular day, but throughout, right? The months. When he would do this, coworkers, he'd be over too long, they'd be like, they were trying to hint and let me know, but that's what was happening. He was straight hanging out over there and doing whatever. So anyway, also on camera. Anyway, at 3:14, he says, too long, no response. You okay? Now, Bones all over like this time it could have been used to this and used to that, and what if? And I'm like, what the hell, right? Because mind you, and now, she was speculating up there before the 2:30 mark when he'd messaged about, well, what if Jodisue this? And she was waiting on Grandis somehow, and I heard from a source now that she was waiting on Grandis from Wisconsin, and something about she was disappointed because of this medicine, and she was supposed to have been owed this or that or whatever the fuck, none of which happened or is true. And as you can see by onward, she speculates that Grandis is getting one type of medicine, and then she says something about Grandis seeing some sort of, whatever the fuck those things are, but out in Wisconsin. And then she speculates, and she knows apparently more laws than the rest of us do about prescriptions and how they work, because then she's like, no, you can't get them out of state, and you can't do this, and you can get them filled, but insurance this, and well that, and I mean, it was a whole big hot mess over there. It was the dumbest shit I ever seen. But mind you, what dumbass was forgetting last night, when when Bones was on her but speculation tour of dumbassery, is that during this period, right here, Candace and Grandis and Summer are still with Hunter and Allie, etc. That's not me telling you, that's the police and everybody else. That's their time, not mine. That video, the milk jugs, right, as timestamp left for 3. From that, we gather Candace would have probably been getting home at least around 3:20 p.m. So she wouldn't have even been home when these were sent. Okay. And so between 3:14 and 3:45, I just ignored him. What the hell, right? And I answered, yeah. And then he wants to know what I'm doing at 3:58. I just don't care. I know what the fuck he's up to. I ain't got no time for that. Every time he goes over to get a drink or whatever else, I'm just like, he always messages some shit and acts like he gives a fuck. I know his game by this point, y'all. I ain't answering that back. Fuck it. So, all of a sudden, he's curious about what I'm doing. And that right there is out of character. It's what I love you. It was very telling what the fuck he was doing. And how it looked. You just had to be there. You have to live DV and with one of these monsters to know. Shit is not what it appears. Alright, so moving on. What are you doing? And then I answer him. And here's the key part. At 4:52, I answer. And I say, talking to kids. And this is where the timeline for Summer goes in. Because in that area, okay, because he's, at this point, he's not privileged my day. And like I've said many times, he was raising hell about me being out. It was, oh no, and acting like he cared. You don't need to be out doing this. You don't need to be going out to get groceries. I'll just get this. I'll get that. He did not want me out of that box because he was afraid I'd hear, shit was getting serious with that supply playing games. She also thought he was already gone by this point. Had for several weeks thought he was no longer there with me. Yeah. Which is why you hear him on Salted Earth and others who've randomly caught him on the phone lying about when everything went down and all that. But yeah, Supply, I thought he'd been gone by this point. So he didn't want me seen, it was fucked up. So anyway, he'd been raising hell, and the night before he's like, you make sure tomorrow to rest and stay in the cabin and don't do whatever. And so I was not going to tell this asshole sucker beat later that I was out wandering around or doing anything because I didn't want to hear his bullshit. So I just tell him that I was talking to kids. Our kids. At 4:52. But what I'd been doing in that interim was we'd heard that noise because the kids and I were talking, etc., blah, blah, blah. And the scream had occurred, right? And, anyway, because of that timestamp, I knew how far to bring it back, roundabout figure, on when the scream was heard, an estimation of how long we had been out there. After hearing it, etc., right? So, that message at 4:52 gave me the time to start, doing the estimate from. And that's what the feds have. That's how, it went down. And then at 5:31, I sent a heart. And then and that was because he gets off at 5:30. That's my way of, basically being, like, he knows, right? It's, you're off or you're not, whatever. And he goes, not off yet. That's why I replied that way. And I was like, okay, soon, question mark. And then he doesn't respond till 6:02 p.m. He goes, about to leave. What am I doing? And I was like, well, getting me, question mark, or not, ellipses, right? And he's like, you want me to? And I was like, and then he goes, if you do, we'll head there, but got to get a drink on way. And what he meant by that was, I gotta go next door and get a drink. But he always had that fucking cup and he was working over, and it was sort of like his own little devious when he showed up in the car. And Lord, I hate to think of how many fucking straws. Anyway, just can't. It's fucking gross. But anyway, but that's basically what he's telling me, right? And I know what he's doing by this point, so also, generally be like, yep, I'm gonna go ahead and go on down, and that way, he at least couldn't be over for that long, up her ass, because it kind of pushed, and kept me with, my non-immune, having ass a little bit safer from their nastiness. So I was like, yeah, in response, I'll be at bottom in 20, as in 20 minutes. Like when he would get there, that way, because that's my way of going, okay, you should be here within 20 minutes, then I'll be down there. And he goes, well, text when passing on so you ain't heat very long. That's his way of playing the fucking game, which is, No, just stay there until it takes. So I have more time next door with the whore. And I'm like, So I was like, okay, see you soon. I'm gonna head down, which is basically me going, fuck you. Better not be next door getting a drink that long. And I'm gonna go down there anyway. I'm gonna mess with my flowers. And he's like, okay, on the way. And then at 6:09 p.m., I send the message, okay, see you soon. At the top of the driveway, the last spot, the last couple of feet, the cell phones would pick up service from our Wi-Fi, satellite internet. I sent that message. I could hear the calls for summer. Okay? And I'll show them to you. And they're on my Facebook. Hold on. You're more than welcome to go look at them. Yourselves. Oh dear. I did bad. And as you can see in the background there with the reflection, pickles, and have done a number. Did I move backwards? Fuck. Hold on. Yeah, I moved backwards. Anyway, let's try this again because I was moving backwards. Oh, that was me looking at their nose bullshit. Okay. Alright. That's what that was. Because I was putting that thing you just saw on the screen together with other shit recently. And traveling that Blue's Clues pathway backwards. Alright. So there's the second one. I don't know, I think I took doubles there. Just a minute. And old Bones raised hell about this right here, blacked out as well. Trust me, the feds have that, and it's not blacked out for them. Oh, and look, you know, she wanted more. She kept saying she wanted more. I wish I knew what was after this and there. Well, because things got a little busy after 6:09 p.m., you dumb bone-shaking idiot. Wasn't really back online or otherwise until the next day. So, June 16th, 10 in the morning, I'm going down to look or help. Can't just sit here and do nothing while some other mama's baby is missing. And then I was like, I may try to go towards... I may try to go towards Mount Carmel Church, which is where they had the FBI like command centers and stuff set up. And he's like, okay, be careful, love you. And then at 10:52, I did not get that chance to really look that much, do what I was intending to do at that point, because I was like, they're here with new dogs, new teams, and something walk hours. Dogs look like leading, and I told him where they were leading to. I think out. Well, I don't want to give that away, but Anyway. But anyway, but yeah, those are there as well. But no, there was not sentence shit picked up on ours, just in case anyone wants to take that way as well. Because they'll try to. But anyway, and there are very real pictures of very real flowers and gardens I had all over the fucking place on my Facebook and down there. Hell, after search crews and shit would clip them, take them home to their families. As a matter of fact, the boys would often come and clip them and take them up to Candace or things like that. And I was indeed going down to mess with my flowers. So, let me see what else is here. Did I show? Yeah, I showed that. Oh dear. Okay, well, these are some more photos of the domestic violence, because I don't know, Bones. Did he really beat her as bad as she says? I don't know, Bones. Did he? Oh, hold on. Wait, hold on, Bones. Let me see here. That's my nose. See how swelled that motherfucker is? This right here is where my teeth that went through my entire fucking lip. After he punched me in the goddamn face so many times, my teeth just, it was real pleasant. But yeah, Bones, he didn't beat me bad enough for your fucking bullshit, I guess. Oh, and Bones last night was speculating about my hospital stay and, well, this, and, just trying. At first it was that there must be a meth lab up there, right? And that's what somehow those messages told me that we didn't want people up or something because there was a meth lab, I don't know, and it must smell, I don't know what the fuck she was going on with. It didn't make no sense because she talked from one substance to another and then say she had inside knowledge of this, and it was bouncing back and forth. It was some of the dumbest shit I've ever fucking heard in my whole ass life. And damn, she was more about explaining how each substance worked. Look, y'all, I didn't even know what them patches looked like and shit until she was explaining it in great detail last night. Apparently, they're clear according to Bones, and man, that's all that person she can concentrate on. I've noticed it for months. It was also she's behind the icon there a lot before, and you could hear the. Because I and other creators and other people out here have heard this, okay? And if you've never been around anybody, you can clearly hear, like, the drawer open just gently and slowly so nobody gets it. And you can kind of hear her grinding shit down. And you can hear the baby. And then you'll hear her, like, and sometimes she's talking about after that door comes open and shit, and you start hearing a little, as she's in between sentences, she only does it every once in a while. What she's doing is she's grinding down fucking pills. Bet me. And she's trying to do it so nobody notices. And then you'll hear her come back on. Sometimes it's there and it'll be, baby sniffs. People are like, oh, and shit, my allergies and whatever fuck else. I'm like, oh, bullshit. Okay? And the months chicks taught me more about dope than anything. And if you watch her, like when she's talking about one of us or making up bullshit or narratives, man, she'll bring up like whatever dope it is she's talking about. And then she just gets super concentrated on the substance. It's no longer about the narrative she's trying to drive. It's about the substance. It's the way somebody would talk about like a lover or some, I don't know, but the girl's got more knowledge about dope than the rest of us got. That's all I'm saying. But anyway, then her hot take became last night that, she was probably on these, like, morphine or Dilaudid or something like that. I mean, she was in the hospital and stuff and whatever. I'd love to know what she was on 2 years ago in ICU when I was in there for days and days and days. Bones. Shit, I bet somebody had their head cut off. We definitely had IVs and tubes and shit connected to them, huh? Shit, I bet. 2 years ago, she wants to know what the fuck they were giving me in ICU while I was in there for days after having my whole ass head cut off and shit transplanted and moved around, and cardiothoracic surgeons there to bust my chest bone open if they couldn't bring the big ass cysts out from my chest plate by hyperextending it and getting those cysts out without rupturing them. And then chasing nerves all the way down and then back up trying to get all the cancer and stuff so that he went to some of the greatest lengths to help me keep my voice. At least some of it. It's not like I once knew it, never will be again. But, transplant, taking out half the structures, cutting my arm nerve, disconnecting it from my whole ass body, putting in tubes and drainage tubes that were in there for weeks bones, that I traveled around with hanging out of my chest while my papa was dying. Oh, god damn, bones. Hot take there, lady. Yeah. So anyway. So yeah, those entire text messages, she's speculating. I'm just like, I wonder what this means. I'm trying to drive an error, just like the other shitty channels have done for months now that I've ignored. But this goofy bitch is 6 months late to this fucking bullshit game with these messages. Literally, I'm not kidding, like 6 months late, but she's gonna try it because she needs them pennies to get back down here to Tennessee to cause some more fucking trouble and get some more bullshit. She can pay people to, do whatever, like she did for the Drain the Well dry team. She wanted to pretend we all didn't know she was working for, but she was way too excited to being part of MGL's team that she couldn't keep her mouth shut for weeks and kept giving too many fucking clues and woohoos, Damn near pissed her britches because she was, oh my gosh, I'm around the lady that has like 80k subscribers. Oh gosh, I'm important now. I'm going to be working for them, but wait. Forget that. I'm just going by myself to Tennessee. I wasn't working for nobody. It was just me and my daughter, and we were just going, and bullshit, lady. Pepperidge Farm remembers. I don't know. Anyway, so, and it's why when she put out that bullshit stuff, everybody else was like hot mess about it. But knew she was being taken for a ride. Knew what she was coming across. Knew what she was going to do with it when she got back, which was lie to you all. Knew she had paid for Fred to add in and do things. Knew what was going to happen, and she was just like, and now it's this pity party of, but they did this and the locals. No, you got what you paid for, honey. It's why the Bones thing that bothered me. Anybody with common sense can look at those and see what the hell they're about anyway. But, that anybody would have known what those were. But yeah, like, that to a normal average person looks exactly, yeah, there's obviously the hidden, DV and personal shit that only Andy and I could read between the lines there, with the games being played with his domestic violence, narcopathic bullshit, sure. But the rest of it reads out like most normal people's messages from work. I know that concept eludes Bones there, because she's real fucking confused about schedules, how they work. Also confused about what a blocked out line is and decency, where you don't want to dox other human beings online. I know all those concepts elude the fuck out of her, okay? And I know also, as I speak, this is a bad idea. because it's gonna let that dipshit play drama whore with me for the next whatever time, so she can raise super chats and boo-hoo and pretend whatever, and latch on like her bills to me right now as a feeding source to make pennies off of. So, you know, like, miss me with your born ass shit. So I know what it is, but also I'm done with this message bullshit, you know. And those are the same messages the FBI and TBI, etc. are in possession of, because when we were being interviewed and first questions, I was like, hold on, I've got a way to do this. And they're like, you do? And I was like, hold on, let me get my phones and stuff. And I freely offered them to them. They took pictures, they took what they needed, and that was it. And it's still the ones they have possession of.